It looks like they found King down here by himself right now, who's already been tagged up for whites. Let's see, though. This is a bad, yeah, I was going to say, this is a bad situation being for Chap. Only a hunting rifle.
In the feed, sorry, Tfue going down to Thomas, so it looks like Enrique going down to Scope, so they're trading them backwards and forwards. Calc picks up on a limb as Ghoul takes down Macwood, so we got a lot of those big names trading backwards and forwards in the feed. It doesn't look like a clean split for any of those big name trios at the bottom, as Zexro takes down the limb as well, so maybe I think Zexro's team just wiped them at Misty, but I don't know how Catty Corner's playing out. Looks like they're 1-for-1 piece as we tune in now with Rokane taking a heavy shot as Rokane, Aegis, and Fernand take down the win at Lazy, and that's a lot of loot to split now. That was an early fight. They're dropping on top of each other. They're not like getting loot and then fighting. They want to secure this drop fast.
Exactly, and that's what they managed to do here with 3 elims now. Really picking things up. It's looking nice and good for that squad right here. Here's Zate, Saf, and Stretch. Like we said, they were just off on the southern portion here. They can hear the fight happening in the distance with Wavy, Jacob, Innocence, Tfue. It's all going down right now. Look at this.
Is Zay going to set up for the beam? He's being so patient, and there it is. He beams him as he goes for the reboot. Scoped has to now try and clutch this one up with what looks like less than 20 health, and I think we talked about who was going to win Catty Corners. It looks like none of them are. Zate, Saf, and Stretch are going to come through and take some of the most powerful items in the game.
No, he's dancing on him. Dance right there. There you guys have it. All right, though. Zate's going to find himself Innocence now, and Scope pretty much get wrapped up here by Stretch, and all of a sudden they are the kings of Catty Corner, and we know what comes with it. There's some good weapons here. The Mythic, right? You get the grenade launcher, you get the shotgun. It's kind of ridiculous, and the Volts, of course. And I feel like this is the way this kind of drop plays out, though. Whoever comes in last is the one to win it. Uh-oh.
Oh, Zexro on the back foot. Only 7 health. He has the floppers. He has those apples. He needs to win this fight. If they go down on spawn twice, 2 games in a row, Nade picks himself up. Keys gets taken down. Sorry, Keys takes down Chewy there. Zexro wins this one, but someone else is pushing in. I think he's still got to beat one more person. Lazar's here as well now. There's no way we're going to see Tfue's team and Zexro's team both going down on spawn 2 games in a row as we see Reverse 2K's team wiped out here at Frenzy Farm. It's a difficult drop. We saw it in the open finals. It was being contested heavily by Connor and his team, and it's just a hard one to hold down.
If they got taken out early or to somewhere lost.
No, I think they were
mix.
right. I swear I saw Kanata at the very end. I just think it was just simple. They found Marauders. They just stayed for placement heavy. I think they'll still be inside that maybe top 10 mark-ish just from based on placement, but I don't think they picked up too many limbs. I didn't see them really once in the feed, but Chaotic goes here on the back foot. Team that I said to look out for is probably one that's either going to hit the gas or they're going to hit the brakes. Let's see if they can maybe pick up an elimination here. This is against Arab's team. We've seen how aggressive they've been going right now. They've taken out Chaotic, so Furious and Paver have to try and hold this one down against a full trio getting held out here. The third parties are coming out. That's one of the issues with this map having so much water. It has very open, visible sight lines. If you're not inside a box and you're trying to aggress in, there's a lot of people who have eyes on you. As now Chaff gets beamed up. We saw him 100 last time, and now he's not looking anywhere near as good. Only has the 1 minute to top himself back up as this fight's actually finally breaking out.
And for a second there, I thought he let his guard down. The side wall is where his teammate was. So they're looking to kind of turn things around now. They don't have too much control, though. Like I said, they're pressured down below. That's the last of the heals now coming out. And no, they lose the roof above, and Chap gets tagged early, and now he's down. It's up to Edgy and AV to really clutch up here. We know they can do it. They have the charge shotgun. Beautiful for playing on the back foot on the heels, and lucky the conversion is not going to fully happen here for Chap. Can they get the heal? No, instead it's going to be a shotgun exchange. The 102 follow-up, the SMG, and now it's up to whether or not they can find the finals here on Hazard. Shots are coming out though.
Might be able to do it. Edgy's trying to find his way through. He's got the left-hand peak with that charge shotgun. Hazard is so low, and he was on the absolute back foot, and Edgy went heavy for it, but he pushed up against that fully built brick wall. Couldn't see through it. I was seeing those specs, and I was hearing about it. I saw the giveaway, and I was getting hyped, and then you ran the ads, and I was like, my God, this thing is tiny for how beefy it is. It's ridiculous. As we see, it's such an innovative strat. No way, of course. It is Clicks, Command, and Bizzle. Big brain Bizzle. I'm sure he came up with that one. Banking the nades off the top wall to make them fall back down on this team. That looked so flashy and was so incredibly smart, because dropping the nades straight down, you have a lot of time to react to them because you can hear them fizzle above you before they explode. But throwing them against the wall above you just minimizes that time, and they get 2 free eliminations from that. That was so smart. But they did fall off the pace just a little bit towards the end and came second by 1 point to Illis team. So 2,000 above Storm Surge here for Saf, Stretch, and Zate, and they only have 2 eliminations. Again, focusing on their challenge. Looks like they're trying to take out the Shark out of their builds. I don't know if that's for the loot, or maybe they just don't want You know, Brucey back here kind of
Oh, no!
going around in their builds, but that little bit of focus just taking the attention off what was happening around them, and Zayt gets hit really, really heavy here, goes down to 22 health, has the med kit in the minis, but the pressure is now on them. It's just crazy, just that 2 seconds of focusing on something else leaves you vulnerable. As we see High Sky setting up for nade strat. Here it is. Blake, Cease, and High Sky setting up for it. The 65 meters. Do we hear the tags? Does it come out? They do. They hit it. Do they take down all 3 or just 2 of them? I see a Liege down. I see Jelty down. Unless there was only the 2 of them up there. They got 2 eliminations. That is massive. They don't get the loot, but they don't need it. That is so huge for their Storm Surge tags now, as well as they're 1,400 above.
That's the 8th place team right there. The Timbers crew, excuse me. You know, Jelty has a huge community. The Mexican and Peruvian representing for the Hispanics out there. One of the few, man, getting taken out just like that. And that's why grenades are so frowned upon in heavy-based game modes. They are the end of the road for most teams. And it comes by such a surprise too, right? It's hard to defend against that thing when they come flying. But regardless of what, here's these Arab and polarized for secondary. I was like, who is this guy? But here it is.
They're looking good.
They're hanging out. They have the happen zone.
And the pressure they put on Chaotic, I just saw Chaotic's team out of here as well. They both just went down in the feed. They're looking good on the half-half. Let's see what they can do with it. They're not building up, not looking like they want to hold this as a high ground. They think it's a little bit too early to go up for it, as High Sky has taken some damage on this rotate after those nade strats, going back for the pad, using that chug splash just to top him up a little bit as he's going through it. Can we hear the coffin dance music playing a little bit? No, High Sky gets to make it. He makes the rotate, doesn't get held up by the whole lobby. He's looking pretty good. Only has 1 chug splash. Looks like hopefully one of them has some minis. They do. And he's now made half-half as we have 49 players alive, 17 teams as Mega goes down in your feed. And it looks like he was the last one holding it down for their team, unfortunately.
It is all unfolding. Once again, we want to thank you guys if you're tuning in from home, whether it be the YouTube Chronic channel or the Twitch TV Practice Server channel. I'm pretty sure that a lot of your favorite competitors are here involved today. Don't forget to get involved in everything that we're doing, as things are explosive here today, quite literally. Isaki's getting hit by a big grenade right there. They're okay though. He will be able to bounce back. Lucky for him, it was only 1.
Wasn't too much damage there. He's got those 2 stink nades. Interesting to show how much the Marauders are playing into just with the items they carry. They're the only way you get your hands on the rocket, the only way you get hands on the stink nades. Look how much pressure it puts out there. Illis was just trying to go for some heals. Grandma goes down. Scrubs gets the limit. We see Clicks, Bizzle, and Commandment on that opposite high ground front side of zone. I called it last game. Please don't prove me wrong again. I think they're going to have to hold it here because they have it on rotating zone. And if they hold it, they're going to win this game like the other team did last game out of the Opens contingent. They have so much practice on this high ground. They know their positions. Clicks is up there now looking for tags, and Commandment's going to start leading front side as he always does though, but he gets knocked down. Maybe they don't have it as secure as what I thought. Stretch and that are coming through on pads. They could maybe take it, but no one's contesting it for it, and Commandment is leading the charge. Clicks is looking for those frags, and Bizzle is just going to be the mastermind behind this entire maneuver.
And look at Stretch is trying to pepper up and take the height. You just saw him, he cranked out of his mind, and all of a sudden, no, he gets harpooned off. Wait, what just happened?
Shockwave. I think he got shockwaved off by Zayt.
He got shockwave. He did get shockwave off of height. For a second, I thought he was harpooned. It was all over. Zayt, yeah, he literally shockwaved him off of height, and now all of a sudden, Bizzle is down in the low ground. His team's up above. What are they going to do? Are they going to reconvene down here, or are they going to try and go up is the question right now. Bizzle's just waiting, biding his time. He does not have any material. And now look who has height. Zayt, Saf, and Stretch, Aussie.
That is 2 of the biggest teams in the business taking high ground, and that is the impact that you have. If you have Kit's Shockwave launcher, you have so much control over high ground. I called it, I cursed them, they're off it, but we see Zayt, Saf, and Stretch now have full control, and they have the loadout to do it. Stretch has that RPG in the back pocket. He can drop that and suppress second height. That is what Clicks was lacking. When they went to take high ground there, they had no power weapons to hold it from the onslaught of Stretch, Zayt, and Saf, as they're now just going to fire down on the whole lobby and start wreaking mayhem. They only have 2 eliminations, but again, we've talked about how heavy this format is for placement. They don't even need their limbs. They can just sit up here pretty and hopefully pick up their 20 free placement points.
That's right, and the timing was ridiculous on that. Perfectly executed, and now the RPGs are raining down. That's going to be one that's going to connect onto Unknown Army, who's just in between the mix, now becoming the fire range, being that he's on second height. That is the most dangerous place to be. You can see Clicks is in the mix right here with Bizzle, and they're trying to still snake their way up, and no, Bizzle's going to fall, and he gets taken out. As now, ICV is down in the low ground here, just behind Dijon and Blake. Caster coming in from the zone. Clicks is finally going to inch his way in. Barely has any HP. It's a storm fight with Collazo. Collazo's going to find Clicks. He's going to find Illis, and Collazo still in the running now. Everything is still unfolding here. Look at how many elims, Aussie, that Unknown's team has.
They're picking up a lot of the limbs as Kalaza goes down to Blake now, finally unknown. This leaderboard is going to shake up massively. These are a lot of big names we didn't see in game one. I saw Booger's team down there as well. Mikey goes down. Unknown and Prosecutor have to do something big. They might be able to get the revive, possibly. It would be pretty huge. No, they can't pull it off. They're just going to grab the loot. He goes down, sacrifices himself for his team. As you see, Rogue Shark picking up massive limbs in the feed. Sap got that a limb. Booger is still fragging out down there as well. So Booger's team's still alive on the low ground as we have Unknown's team in this end stretch. Sap and Zayt on the high ground is a highlight reel as Kanata picks up Avery. All the biggest names of NA are in this one, and I have to think the stretch, Zayt and Sap are going to close it out, but there are some big names who can pull off an upset. We see Creo still alive too. Rogue Shark finally going down. Unknown is open to the onslaught of second height. He is just getting fired upon by everyone. He needs to make something big happen on the wall. Chooses not to go through. Only has that one flopper. Needs to slow it down. Get himself back in this. No, they slow it down, but he gets dropped straight in front of everyone. Gets dropped down on top of Booger as Prosecutor now has to try and solo clutch this one out for his team. I think it's two trios. Solo it is. Prosecutor comes through. So now we have Stretch, Zayt, and Sap going up against Booger, Jamper on the low ground. Can they try and pull it off? Can they try and drop down? Trying to find the angles. Bucky goes out into zone. So Bucky is one of the solos left as well. So 2v1v3. Bucky firing from the outside in. So many World Cup players right now. Here he comes through. He gets taken down. Zayt comes from the high ground. Goes down to fall damage. But no, they do manage to win in the end just.
So close with 7 eliminations for the crew right there.